Well, my bus to Bacolod isn't going at 5 a.m. This was a non-aircon bus, but an aircon bus is supposed to show up here at 5 a.m., but they're not going to go. It's a little after 4. I have to wait till 6:30. That's when the next aircon bus comes. It's about a 4-hour trip. This video chat is about, is the Philippines a third world country? You know, I really don't like those terms, and here's the reason why. So I've been over here 3 times now. I live here north of General Santos, and look, the women here are advanced lovers. They're some of the best lovers in the world. So let's get that out of the way. All right. The next thing is, let's consider the malls. They're advanced. The malls here are advanced. They're not like the 1970s and 80s malls. They're better. It's more of I don't know how to explain this if you're not here. It's more of a cultural, some of them are more cultural centers. I mean, they're just happening places. They have big event rooms, some of them. They have colleges and high schools and elementary schools and governments. They come in there and teams and work groups, and they rent the space. They have big events. They do dancing. Some of the youth come into one of the malls and they're all dressed up in really slick attire to do ballroom dancing, singular, like individual women, young women just dancing by themselves, or men, and maybe they have some couples dancing. Just these are interesting people, and that's a handyman do-it-best store. So let me talk about Wilcon. Wilcon is a home remodeling store. It's spectacular. It's in a couple of cities. I think Cebu has 3 of them. General Santos has 1. I went in, I thought, this is my store. This stuff is better than any home store in America. So don't give me this garbage idea that the Philippines is a third world country. I think we need to start thinking differently. This place is extremely Americanized. Even other foreigners from Britain and other countries will tell you that. All right, Auntie Annie's Pretzels here. That's from Lancaster, PA, my hometown. She's from there. Cargill is here. Cargill is at the port, at the tuna port, the tuna capital of the Philippines in General Santos, near where I live. They have a business there. Cargill's the headquarters in Lancaster, PA. Ace Hardware's here. It's a country store in America, but here it's a city store. They put it in the mall on the 3rd floor, 2nd floor, 1st floor. And most of the malls are 3 floors. I think Baguio's 4. All right, and these are places that it's just, this isn't third world here. Yeah, there are people that don't make a lot of money here. There are people that do. I'm in Dumaguete. I've been told there are a lot of young people that have money here. They can spend it just like me. I'm at Starbucks, and the Filipinos are buying more food than me. And, I don't want to get into it too deeply, but I have other video chats where Filipinos have money. They have extra phones. These people, there's under the bridge people in every place in the world. But, these people aren't dumb. They might make not as much money as other parts of the world, but they're not dumb. They're some of the most spectacular people in the world. Like Dumaguete, they're extremely calm here. This is a city of gentle people. I think some of them try to live that out. I mean, I got my sense of what that means here. But, what else is not third world that is even better than the quote first world? Some of their characters better than the first world. We're so money hungry and so hyper independent and hyper money focused in America, for example. They certainly are focused on making money here, a lot of them, but it's different. They just have a better peace, a better happiness. They've got other character qualities that I don't think we really have anymore in America. We used to have them. They have a thing here. I'm going to get this wrong, so I need to look into it and do a video chat on it. But I started hearing finally of this thing called Tambayan. It's just to go somewhere and sit in a public place and just stay with no agenda and just stay there, maybe interact. And it's just kind of a vibe here that we don't really do in first world countries anymore, especially in America. I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but it's just different. Where you can feel a part of something here, even if you're not. You just go sit down or stand there, or you're just and it's alive here. Tonight you got people on the streets. It's 4 a.m. 5. Some of these places, they don't sleep much. They're alive. You can find things to do. And I did walk in here to the bus stop I eventually got a trike, but there was a call center place here in Dumaguete, and there's a whole bunch of young people enjoying themselves quietly, eating outside, and they're making money at the call center there. It's 4 a.m., 3 a.m., just surprised me to see that here. They got McDonald's, Burger King, they got Dunkin' Donuts, 7-Eleven they got here. I love 7-Eleven's coffee. It's cheap and it's fresh ground. What is it, 30 pesos for 12 ounce? What's that, less than half a dollar? I don't know. I got a 16 ounce, so it was like 55 pesos. It's almost $1. It's really good coffee. Some of the supermarkets here are spectacular. I mean, and I've been all over the Philippines, in the different regions, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. So is this place third world? In many ways it isn't. It's better. It's better than a, quote, first world country. I think where it could take a little hit is, I'm sure there's a couple other areas, but some of the building practices, like the blocks aren't wide. They're longer. They're sort of long, but they're not wide. So a lot of the buildings you see have a very thin cement block. I don't like that. I think it needs to be wider. And I'm not so sure how well they build here. I know men that have built houses, and they build them very, very well, very strong. They withstand certain earthquakes that are not too close, things like that. They go deep down into the ground. They have a lot of pillars, they rebar, but so I'm not so sure about some of the building practices here. But yeah, I can find anything I want here and better. The buses here, in different parts of the Philippines, they're great buses. I would rather go on a bus here than in America. The drivers are kind, nice, and the buses are quiet. People are not spastic here. Almost every bus I've been on, I haven't heard anybody complain. They're quiet. And so aircon's fantastic. Some of the drivers are a little aggressive, not all of them, but yeah, you can't tell me. I just don't like this third world thing. It's different here. You can find really good stuff here. I have. So don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. And some of us love to camp. I mean, you go out into the more rural areas, they got electricity, they have aircon, they can have anything you want. So some of them have battery back generators, I think there's some people that don't have electric here. I don't know where it is. I haven't found it. I've been in the province. I stayed in provinces. There's nice developments here, gated communities. I was at a 4th of July party where a foreigner and a Filipina married has a house, and another foreigner Filipina has a house down the street. These are nice places, man. These are very, very nice places. Super aircon. You can get anything you want here. You want to live simply, you can. You want to live the best, you can. There's places to do that all over here. So, that's another thing I think I was misled on. This is not, it's very developed in some areas. It's very developed. And it depends on your taste. If you're Mr. Perfection and you have to have everything your way, you're going to be frustrated here. You got to be patient, man. Like, I came to get my bus, and they decided not to take the bus because there's not enough people, and I have to wait another hour and a half, 2 hours to get the next bus. I'm not upset at all. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to enjoy myself and take it easy. If you're in a hurry, you're going to be frustrated here. So it's really about character. Everywhere we go, is our character good character or bad? Is it a good character trait to be upset all the time and ticked off at everything you think is against you? It isn't. You got to learn to be a patient person. So that's my take on whether the Philippines is third world or not. I've seen enough. I don't believe at many spots it is absolutely not true, and it's better to me than in parts of America. It really is.